Alright, hello, we are back. And as you can see, we have the soft black base color all the way around the edges, everywhere where it should be. I had to go back and do a little bit of touch-up with soft black after the first coat had dried. Didn't have to put on a whole second coat, but there are a few places where there were some misses with the paint that had to be touched up. And now we're going to put the base color on the road. So to do that, I'm using another Americana paint. This one is Burnt Umber. Of course, there's lots of different browns you could try. This is kind of a medium darkish brown. And I'm going to use a slightly smaller brush here because the road's a little bit smaller. And again, I've mixed the paint with water to make it go on a little bit more easily. And I'm not going to worry too much about this kind of stark contrast between the soft black and this umber color that I'm putting on, because when we dry brush, highlights will blend some of that. This may need a little bit more water, so I'm going to mix a little bit more water into it so it goes on more easily. This will probably just take one coat. I might have to come back and do a few touch-ups to it, but shouldn't require two coats. And I decided to go all the way up to the top here with the road. There we go. Alright, that should do it. Alright, now I'll rinse that color off. My brush with some water and paper towel. Alright, sorry about that. Took you along for the ride there. Okay, while that's drying, and it probably won't take too long for that to dry. Oops, there's a spot I need to touch up there actually. Whenever you do paint these things, sometimes it pays to twist the model around and look at it from a different angle. You'll frequently discover that there is a spot that you missed when you do that. All that texture can hide some places where the paint didn't get. Okay. Now the next step that we're going to do is one where things really start to come together. Here in this the rocky regions where we've done the soft black coat, we're going to do some dry brushing. And I'm going to go with a medium gray here. This is another, actually this is a folk art paint, and this is how appropriately named medium gray. And that's going to be my first highlight color on onto this soft black. So the way we're going to do that is we're just going to squirt some out. Let's see here if I can get it to come out. This is a really thick paint. Okay, as you can see there, that's a really thick paint. I'm not going to worry about that this time because I actually, when we're doing dry brushing, what we're going to do is we're just going to get a little bit of paint on here on the tip. And then we're going to go onto the newspaper and we're going to get most of that paint off. Okay, and you can see I've still got some brown on there. It blended on me. That burn umber, some of that burn umber was still on there, so I'm going to do this again until I don't see too much of that burn umber on there. Okay. Alright, now the reason I'm getting most of the paint off of the brush is because I only want to pick up the highlights here. I don't want to actually get down into the recesses. So I'm going to lightly brush here in kind of a sideways motion, back and forth. There we go, and you can see that the gray there is staying on the upper surfaces where all that texture is, and it's staying away from the recesses, so you get kind of a two-color effect there. Of course, the reason you do this with any kind of miniature painting is because you're trying to make something small that's mimicking something very large, and the shadows don't look quite right unless you do all this highlighting. Okay. Let's get down in that crevice some. Again, I'm just clearing paint off the brush. Okay. Alright, so I'll be doing this all the way around the model. And when we come back, we'll be ready to put our second highlight onto this, and also we'll dry brush the road when that's fully dry. A second highlight, its first highlight color. Alright, that's it for now.